What's up, BookTube? Welcome back. My name is Laura if you're new here, and today I'm going over my wrap-up for February. Hello! Long time no see. First things first, new location, hello! Like, look at this shelf. I love it so much. I got new shelves and I've never had these like tall bookshelves before. I've only ever had the short ones. So being able to like actually stand when I'm talking for a video is gonna be so nice. My room is still a hot mess. Like there is shit all over the floor, all over everything. I literally only have my bookshelf organized because obviously that's the most important part. But with the move that I just did, we didn't have Wi-Fi for the first like week and a half. So that's why I have been gone for like 2 weeks now. We just got Wi-Fi a couple days ago, and you know, life is busy right now, so I did not have time to be filming, but I am back. We are here and it's time to do my wrap up for last month, halfway through the next month. So sorry, but here we are, we're back. Hello. I am planning on doing a like mini bookshelf tour coming up whenever I get around to it. I like filmed my like setup process of the bookshelf, so you'll see all that eventually. Whenever I actually finish my room and I can do like a full little tour of all my little bookish things around my room. Not sure when that's gonna be, but eventually it will happen, so keep your eyes out for that. But for now, let's just dive right into my wrap up for February. I think I'm gonna stop doing the like full stats portion of these ones. Honestly, it's just kind of a hassle to figure it out, and then it like makes me procrastinate filming this video because I don't want to go and look up all the stats, even though I love stats. I am still going to do my like total page count for the month, which I forgot to do right now, so I'm just going to put in a little text bubble right here with how many pages I read for the month. This number. The first book that I read was The Empress of Salt and Fortune by Nghi. This one is an Asian period piece novella, so it's very, very short. This one I listened to on an audiobook while I was cooking, so I don't have like the most detailed memory of the plot for this one, but I do remember that the writing style was gorgeous for it. Like it was absolutely stunning, but the actual plot, even while reading it, I was kind of hazy on like what was actually going on. I got like the gist of it, but now that it's been like a good month and a half since I read this, I don't really remember what it was about like at all. I even just read the description on Goodreads and it's not even really ringing a bell. So plot wise, I guess it didn't really stand out that much for me, but the writing definitely stood out. It was absolutely beautiful, and the atmosphere as well was just beautiful, but the plot lacking memory there, so sorry for the vague description or lack of description, I guess, but I genuinely do not remember what it's about like at all. But regardless, it was good. I have it on Goodreads as a 4-star, but because it's only been a month and a half and I already have no clue what happened in it, I think I might drop that to like a 3.5 just to reflect that it didn't like stick in my brain that well. Next up, I read How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories by Holly Black. This is the new short story collection from the Folk of the Air world. This one follows the character of Carden and kind of his backstory, his childhood, and why he grew up to be the piece of shit asshole that he is, basically. This was pretty good. I gave it 4 stars. I liked most aspects of it. There was just something that I wasn't that excited about. Mainly that a lot of the stories had to do with Jude instead of Carden. So it was really more like Carden's reactions to Jude growing up instead of like Carden himself. A lot of the stories were about Carden, but like every single story had at some point a mention of Jude, and the farther along we go, the more focus there is on Jude, which is really not what I wanted. I wanted this to be Carden's story because I fucking love Carden. He's such a prick and I love asshole characters, and it really felt like Jude was still the main character in some cases, so that wasn't my favorite thing ever, but for the most part I really enjoyed it. I loved being back in this world, and the illustrations in here are absolutely stunning. Like, look at that, gorgeous. So just reading this book was an experience in itself. I really enjoyed just having a good time reading this book. I read it very quickly and I kind of wish that I'd taken my time more with it, but what can you do? But yeah, 4 stars for this one. I then read 3 Dark Crowns by Kendara Blake. This book takes place in a fantasy world in which the queen always gives birth to triplets, and when they're, I believe they're 6 years old, they are separated to like different kingdoms, I guess, based on whatever their powers are, and they're all raised separately and taught to hate each other until their 16th birthday, where they have to go through a ceremony, and then after that date they all have 1 year to try and kill each other, and whoever is left standing becomes the queen. This book, I love the premise of it. It's been sitting on my shelves for so long, but Robbie over at It Is No Stuck in a Book is doing a read-along for this series, so that's why I finally like got around to picking it up, and I actually really liked it. I know a lot of people don't like this series, but like I loved the first book. It was very cheesy and like just full of every single possible cliche, but it was done in a really fun way. So I still really enjoyed it despite the fact that it was like very typical YA. It was just done in a way that was still enjoyable to read. It was nothing new or exciting, but like it was still a lot of fun, just entertaining. I liked the characters in it. I liked the side characters as well. And the magic system was pretty cool as well. So overall, pretty good. And I gave it 4 stars. After that one, I read This Place 150 Years Retold by various authors. This is a graphic novel short story collection, all from different Indigenous authors who take important parts in Canadian history and retell them from the perspective of the Indigenous people who were affected by it. This book was absolutely stunning. Every story had a different artist, so it was all different art styles, and literally all of them were so gorgeous. Like, I couldn't possibly pick a favorite. And also at the beginning of each story, there was a little timeline that went over important treaties that were signed and historical events and facts and stats and things. And like, honestly, a lot of it were things that I was not aware of because our school system is garbage, and I'm trying now to like learn more about the history of my own country and like what we actually did, because they really don't tell us much. So we have to like take it upon ourselves to learn. And I thought this book would be a great way to like at least start learning, and it definitely is. So if you're also interested in learning more about Canadian history, I would definitely recommend this one. I'm horrible with nonfiction books. I really struggle with like reading nonfiction, so I thought that a graphic novel would be like kind of an easier route to go, and it definitely was. It was a great way to learn more about like historical events, but also just like learn more about the different cultures and their beliefs and everything. So that was really cool, and like overall I just really enjoyed this one as well. And I believe I also gave it 4 stars. I did. I also gave this one 4 stars. A very 4-star month. Second from last, I read You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. This one I read with the Queer Joy Book Club over on Instagram. I will leave that link down below. The pick for this month was this book, and I was tentative reading it because I don't really like reading YA contemporary anymore, so I wasn't really sure if I would like it, but I actually really did. I was trying to like not be too biased with my rating because again, I don't like this genre, but I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. It was pretty good, so it was another 4-star. But this book is about a girl. She wants to go to college soon, but her scholarship falls through and she can't afford to pay tuition. But if she wins prom queen, then she gets a full ride scholarship. So she starts running for it, and she does not want to do it, but she actually starts to like really enjoy the process of it, and she falls in love with one of her competitors. This was a really cute story. I loved all of the characters. They touched on some really important topics. I feel like this book would be great for somebody who was like in that same age range. Yeah, I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to, so 4 stars there. And the last book that I read for the month is taking a wildly different turn, and that one is Desperate Measures by Katee Roberts. This is a erotica romance series that's a play on Disney villains. So it takes the Disney princesses, puts them in a like contemporary setting, and has them fall in love with the villain instead. If you know me at all, you know that I fucking love villains. I go nuts for them. I don't know why, I just really enjoy villain characters. So this series is like perfectly up my alley. I absolutely adored this book. It was so much fun. So this one follows Jasmine and Jafar, and it takes place in a setting where Jasmine is the daughter of a like mafia leader, and Jafar is one of the like competitor dudes. I'm not sure how mafias work, but basically he kills her father and, you know, claims her as his prize, which sounds horrible. So this book is like, if you are familiar with kink terms, is consensual, non-consensual, and like a daddy dom kind of kink, which is all actually consensual. That was one thing that I really enjoyed with this book, is that they are very clear with consent. Jasmine and Jafar knew each other beforehand. They've been like flirting for the last 5 years, and they actually already had a safe word in place. So that was actually really good. I was kind of worried about that when I realized that it was going to be CNC, consensual, non-consensual, but the author was really, really good at like making sure that consent was always present, like at every step of the way. At the beginning of every single steamy scene, Jafar would always ask Jasmine to say their safe word out loud. That way, you know, like he knows that she knows it, and it's always very, very clear that she can say no whenever she wants to. This was my first time reading erotica, so I really had no idea what to expect, but it was a great time, and I really enjoyed this one, and I can't wait to get to the sequel. So for the rating, can you guess what it's gonna be? Because it is once again a 4-star. I literally read only 4-star books this month, so that's pretty good. I will take that. But anyways, that is the end of this wrap up. Those are all the books that I read for the month of February. March is not going nearly as well. It is currently March 13th when I'm filming this, and I have not finished a single book this month. So next month's wrap up is going to be a hell of a lot shorter. Unless I just like somehow manage to pull through and read like 10 books in the next 2 weeks, which is probably not going to happen. But yeah, it's going to be a very short wrap up next month. But if you've read any of these books, let me know in the comments. I would love to know your thoughts on them. But in the meantime, that'll do it for today's video. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!